the first black first lady in American history. You get
Yeah.
this image of them as, president, first lady, and they've left office. They've been out of office since 2016, right? We're now in 2025. We haven't really heard anything about all this trauma and all how bad it was, quote unquote, until 10 years
She's
later.
been vocal about it. She's been vocal
She
about how hard it
she
was.
was, she was, but what I'm saying is now it's starting to scream even louder. So she did like
Mm.
for me, I think that she had her book. She's been on countless interviews where she was candid about the fact, hey, we're regular people. Our marriage wasn't perfect. I do get that. But now I feel like the description is becoming what the White House did to me, how negative it was to be first lady, what it did to my family. I never wanted him to do this. And she talks about, I think in that episode, or it might have been the episode, their pilot episode, where Craig, her brother, had to talk her into being cool with Barack running because she didn't, like you said, she didn't want him to run originally, which I understand. But once you agree, now let me lay this out. Here's my thing. you know you're the wife of a man. Now women across America will talk about how it's hard to find a man, hard to find a good man. You guys still revere Barack Obama, right? So here you have a man who, what it takes to become a president, not only the president but the first black president. So he gets to where he gets, you stand by his side, and now after that presidency, now we got to hear about how damaging it was for you. And Barack is walking around talking about, I'm in a deficit with Michelle and I need to, I don't know what he did. Let's now assuming he didn't cheat on her or beat her or whatever. Like now he's walking around looking apologetic. And it's almost honestly, I think that the inauguration, I think he would have wanted her to be there. I think she didn't want to go, and I think he wasn't cool with it. That's my speculation. I think he would have preferred to
You
have
think
his
he
wife.
wasn't cool with it? I think
Huh?
he would have preferred to have his wife there, but she's
Yes,
always, from day one, she's been always very vocal that she was not one for the political limelight. She does not like politics. She was not down with him running for office, and he really had her, Barack and her brother had to work on her. That's always been at the
sure,
forefront. I think now we are just seeing her really act out. Okay, we are done with this life. I need to be here because the thing is, those 8 years, as much as, oh my gosh, we got a black male president, it was a huge sacrifice for her because this was not some low housewife, right? She's a highly educated. She was in the upper level executive management positions in the medical industry. Like she was a contender, right? She put that on hold and helped propel him forward and made a name for herself. So much so that yes, she was very revered, and a lot of people was like, "Hey, we want her to run for president." Now, word on the street, one of the gossip pieces I heard about their marriage is that he is mad at her for not running for president.
hmm,
He wanted her to run, and he blames her for the reason why Donald Trump is in office now because he felt like she could have
interesting. I never
won
heard that before.
over. I've read all kinds of tea, and I've read that they're
I
going to
mean,
start
that's kind
slowly
of. I mean,
dividing
that's
their
speculation.
assets. Hmm.
I mean, that's just more speculation. We don't really
It
know what's
is.
going on behind
We
the
don't,
scenes.
but
But
there's
I
there's
don't
some.
think that.
No, continue
I
the
don't think
speculation because it's
But
important. It's
I
important.
mean, there's
no.
little things, and then someone also said that they slowly start dividing their assets. And I just read on Radar Online, which they're good because Wendy Williams used to use them, honey. Anyway, that they sold one of their homes over in what's over the East Coast, the Hamptons or
The
whatever.
Hamptons.
And the thing is, with any married couple, a divorce is a big deal, right? When you add a little money to it, you got to take your time and just ease into it. But when you're Barack and Michelle Obama in that legacy, you have to be really careful how you roll out if there truly is a divorce. And the thing is, and we all know with love and relationships and marriage, you could be ready to divorce and kill each other in 1 minute. They might be working on a divorce, and maybe in the 12th hour, they say, you know what, we're going to stick it out. Who
Right.
knows? But we know it's not all rainbows and butterflies. And we know, I mean, as a woman who have dated black men, could you imagine the ego of having the first black male? That's all you got to do with. He's president, right? And
Mhm.
she's a strong black woman. There's
Mhm.
so many dynamics at play, and nobody is perfect. We have regular human beings. Do I think it was okay for her to miss out on the inauguration? Absolutely, because I do really feel like that could have been a mental health stressor for her. Did it look some kind of way for Barack to walk down by himself? Yes. And I'm a girl's girl. I'm
Hell
10
yeah, it looked
toes
bad.
down with Barack. I mean with Michelle, but I did feel some kind of way seeing him have to
So
walk
tell
down
me,
by himself.
if you were the first lady hypothetically, you not gonna walk with him? You gonna let him walk by himself? Like to me, what would he have had to done for
It
you to
depends
walk
on
by
where I'm
yourself?
at. It depends on where I'm at.
What you
If
mean
I
where you at?
really don't feel strong enough, because the thing is, it's just a lot. And just seeing that this man
Maybe
is being
she.
inaugurated, it would take all of the Jesus Christ in me to not be like, that motherfucker should not be our president, right?
What but you rather see your husband walk
But
solo
it really
rather
depends
than
on where.
walk next to him. Even if you like, yo, I don't mess
To
with this
see my
president.
husband walk solo than for me to cause a scene or for me to be over scrutinized because I'm walking in there with a mean mug and an attitude because I got to go to this bullshit, right?
But
Well,
you
And that's
why?
what
also
we're
have to
dealing with.
consider. But
Well,
here's the thing that you need to consider, though, too, is that how difficult was it for her? What was she going through that she finally reached a breaking point
And
where
had to
she's like,
say
I
no.
can't do this?
well,
Everybody reaches points in their life where you have just had enough. And it
And
really
that's not
depends on
easy.
where you feel pushed mentally.
Yeah.
There are things that can happen to you in life that can
okay.
just push you to a place where you're just like, no, heck no, I'm
But
done. No,
here's
I'm not
my
doing this.
thing. Here's my thing with that twin, and I feel you, and I'm not taking away from it. And I'm so here's my thing. To me, this is something. This is the way it could be taken to me, and I think that I've seen a lot of men talk about this. What it looked like is that women can't never be happy. Here you have no. I'm just saying, just loosely, I'm saying women can't be happy. Here you have a woman who is
She spent
married.
8 years
She's married to the first, huh? What,
on
8 out of 10
Buttercup for
women?
8 years.
What the hell
She
does this
Oh,
sucked
have
you
it
to
say
do
up
with women
Buttercup for
can't
you
be
say
eight
8 out of
happy?
10
years.
women ain't happy? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying for 8 years, she sucked it up, Buttercup. She was out
But
working out. Hey, yay for physical fitness for children of America. Let's get the
yeah,
nutrition right. She played the part of first
I
lady.
got
She
you.
is so good. Everybody
Let
loves
me
her.
tell
I'm
you know
She
saying she
what?
was
did
Hold
great.
that,
on.
and
I'm
she
with
didn't
Hold
you.
want to.
wait, no,
She
hold
didn't
on.
want to
I'm
do
with
Hold
that.
you.
She
on.
sucked it
Hold
up.
on a second. Let me take this. Let me change this perspective for you so you can understand, okay? If
Understand
it
what?
was a no, if it was a
Got it.
first of all, you talk about how women ain't happy and this can
She
be
said,
viewed as
first of
women ain't
all,
happy. Let me tell you something, okay, about men. If it was a woman who was president and it was a man who was first man and he was dealing with all the hatred and all the vitriol that Michelle had to deal with, he would have been and blew his damn
Here's
head
the
off.
thing, though.
He
Here's the
wouldn't have been
thing.
able to
Here's the
handle it.
thing.
So she gets a
I
pass.
can't argue that because that's hypothetical. But what I can tell you is that what I tried to do, I tried to go back. Here's the thing, and I think y'all are painting yourself into a very tight corner. I tried to go back and I said, let me find another inauguration where a president walks solo. Right now, here's my thing.
Who
If Barack,
cares?
no, listen,
it's one event in
it's
time.
important. It's important. Why?
She
Because
endured 8 years. He had to go to
if
one event.
Barack, what?
She endured 8 years. He had to go to one event by
And no,
himself
I got you.
in the
I
whole
got you.
world.
I'm
Ooh,
with
Lord,
you.
child, he had to go
I'm with
there by
You're
himself,
not with
Lord
us
no,
because
Jesus.
listen.
you're making this one event
I
so
got you.
pivotal in
I
their
understand.
legacy and in their history
No,
that
no,
you're
no.
making it seem like,
Take
well, now
well, take
she's
it
over
in
here
though. Take in
spilling
what
all
I'm
the
gonna say though.
business and making them look bad,
I'm
basically.
not saying I'm just offering analysis to it. I know we can simplify it and say it's no big deal. I get it. But everybody ain't looking. Some people are looking at that simple. I get it. I mean, I ain't mad at it. But
We're
There's
not saying it's not
always
a big
another way.
deal. We're saying that there are bigger things at hand in her mental health. She sustained 8 years being in a very public, very high profile position, and she
And
did the
she's
hell
But
out of
here's the
still
that.
being
thing. Here's the
hated
thing I
on.
And
would
now
say to
she's
that.
taking that time.
Here's the thing I would say to that though. I respect it, but what I'm saying is that she's not unique and she's not the first and she's not the
She
last.
is the first, and
Yes, she
she's
is
No,
unique.
no, no, no,
unique.
no,
She's the
no.
She
first
is
black woman to
unique,
do
and
it.
she
She's
is
the
the
first with
first.
the color of skin, but she's not the
That
first.
That's everything
that
in
is a
America.
huge
That's
No.
deal, though.
everything.
Here's the
That's
problem though.
everything.
This is the problem though. This is the corner y'all painting yourself in then. Because the problem is that if we look, I'm black, I have a daughter, I exalt black, I love black women. You know what I'm saying? I'm married to a black woman, but the problem is that here's the thing. Then we can't expect black women to do certain things because we're gonna be like, well, you don't have the same, you're going through something different, so you don't have to be held to the same standard of anybody else.
Bullshit. I'm gonna call
No,
bullshit on
No,
because
that.
no,
if Laura
I'm
listen.
didn't
gonna call
go,
bullshit on
nobody
that.
would say shit about it. Laura would be gone at home or in Nantucket, and nobody would talk
Right,
about
but
it.
she
They
didn't.
They wouldn't give
targeted
a.
and
They
they're
wouldn't
looking
give
at
a damn.
No,
Michelle.
listen.
And if she would,
I got
you know
you.
what? As a matter of fact, let's play back every single inauguration that we've had since the
Mhm,
presidency has existed, and let's see
mhm.
how many times first, not the most recent, for the two terms beyond didn't show up. They don't talk about it
Well,
because they
I
focus on Michelle.
no, no, no,
Why do
no.
they focus
Let
on
me let me let
Michelle?
me stay there.
Woo!
That means let me stay there. That's a good point. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that the Obamas had to come. My thing is that if Barack decided not to come, that would have made perfect sense to
But
me. The
I'm
problem,
saying, let's look at the first ladies. Run that.
no, but the
Two
problem
prior
is,
first ladies.
well, here's the thing. I'm not basing it just on the first lady. I'm basing it on the president that comes. So I could be wrong, but I tried to find a scenario where the ex-president came, but the first lady didn't come in an inauguration.
But not even
Now,
X. Let's go back two X's, right?
what you mean?
Because the preceding president was there, Jill and Joe Biden. That's the most pivotal, most important one. But let's go
Exactly.
back in history and let's see if they ever even commented on if two presidents beyond, if that first lady didn't attend. What I'm saying is
I
that,
never
and they
seen that
do that
before. I never
because
seen
they
that
don't
before.
talk about it. We
No, no,
don't see it
I'm
because
saying
it's not.
I went back and looked. So I went back and tried to find a scenario. Not so much trying to beat up on Michelle Obama, but I tried to find a scenario because what they did in this inauguration, they had obviously Joe and Jill. Then they had prior to that was Barack and Michelle. And keep in mind, Bill and Hillary were before. Bill
Melania, did Trump and Melania show up for Joe Biden's inauguration?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want you guys are getting lost in that. What I'm saying is that if Donald Trump is showing up, she's
No,
showing up.
I'm not lost in what you're saying. I'm
So,
saying is that what you need to understand too is that there is undue focus on Michelle Obama. This is one
well, but
event
what
at one
what
point in
way?
time, and she's done so much to fulfill the
What do you mean? In
legacy
what
of the
way?
Obama
I don't under,
They
I
Foundation
don't
and
understand.
what
they
she's done.
criticize her for absolutely everything,
She
more
touched
than
Okay.
the
they've
Queen
ever
of England.
criticized
Oh my!
any other
I
first lady.
remember these
I've
news
So
never
here's
headlines.
the
heard
thing though.
the
Here's the
amount
thing.
of vitriol toward a
Here's the
first
thing. So
lady.
was Barack. So was Barack. Barack faced the same craziness when he was in office too.
But he was the president. He signed up for that. She did
That
not.
But okay,
exactly.
so
She supported her husband. She said,
this is
"Okay,
my
babe, you
point.
can do it. I won't
This is
trip."
Okay,
And
what's
she
your
sucked
point?
it up buttercup for
Help me
8 years.
My
understand what the
point is
point is.
that to me it looked like okay, it looked like it, to me, I hate to say it, but it make it look like the black woman is going to diverge from you at some point because she ain't going to deal with, like, if she have to deal with certain things that are quote unquote too stressful, she's going to do for self at the end of the day. And that's what I feel like happened in this
And you know
scenario.
why that's
I feel
you
like
know why that's bullshit? Because
why?
for 8 years and for up to this point, she showed up for everything. So the one time she doesn't show, that automatically means that the black woman is not going to be happy, and at the end she's going to blah blah
No, you
blah.
have to
That's
read.
bullshit.
No, 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 no. That's because you're reading just the inauguration, but that's why I played the podcast for you. You have to read the whole thing. I'm not saying they're getting divorced. I'm not saying she doesn't love him. But if you read everything that she's actually saying, what it has shown, and let's be honest, it's not peaches and cream. When you're on the podcast talking about what those 8 years did to you. Barack is talking about he's in a deficit with his wife, and he's being spotted all over the place by himself. They haven't been spotted together in a long time, and that's their prerogative. I'm not mad at it, but my thing is that at what point do you say, you know what, I'm gonna stand with you? Because she didn't go to Jimmy Carter's funeral either, right? She didn't go. He was there solo too. Why she didn't go to a funeral? Now, was Donald Trump the reason for that too? So
But you
my
can't always call that as,
We
oh
didn't say it
well,
was because
that
of
means
Donald
she gonna
Trump.
always do for self and she gonna diverge from you and she ain't gonna, you
No.
know, I feel like you're reading way too much into that and making a huge
There's a lot of
generalization. That's
inferencing going
completely
on there.
unfair.
well,
Yeah.
Completely
that's
unfair.
okay. So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm not the only one thinking that. So